What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the Turn Up the Jets YouTube channel. As always, I am your host, Joe Skirdo. I have taken a long hiatus. I get it. It's been a long time since I've been doing what I love, and that's being on the microphone and being tortured as a Jets fan. But some weird reason I love talking about them. But I am back for weekly Jets content. Once again, the 2025 season is amongst us, and I just cannot be happier to kind of be back doing what I love and just trying to make the best content as possible. I really appreciate the subscribers who stuck around for the long time since I haven't been making content consistently, and I welcome the new listeners with open arms. Hope you subscribe. Hope you like the videos. And please comment if you have any comments, whether it's positive or negative. I love the banter. And, it's an exciting time for the Jets. It's always exciting. It's the offseason. They're 0-0. There's nothing to be, pissed off about, right? You got a new regime and GM Darren Muji and head coach Aaron Glenn. The training camp is only about a week away. The season starts September 7th, 7 weeks away against the Pittsburgh Steelers. We know who's coming to town, and Aaron Rodgers. We'll talk plenty about him, but it's not about Aaron Rodgers. It's about two foundational pieces for the New York Jets who deserve a whole video dedicated to them, and that is in star wide receiver Garrett Wilson and star cornerback Sauce Gardner, who basically from the last 24 hours or so both got massive extensions and will officially be New York Jets until the 2030 season. A massive move from the new regime. That is a statement move for signing your foundational pieces and your two superstars in Wilson and in Gardner. So let's start with Wilson. Wilson's contract to me was more difficult to get done, and I was actually surprised it was completed before Gardner's contract because it's the wide receiver market. It's so interesting when you look at the top four that are ahead of Wilson, maybe really the top five before Wilson was signed. You had Chase, Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, DK Metcalf, and AJ Brown. And where do you put Wilson amongst them? My thing is, though, the cap is only going up, and that was definitely the Jets thinking, because look what Wilson has done in 3 years with 8 quarterbacks. It's been nothing but inconsistent and really just, I don't even know what the word, dysfunctional maybe? Probably. That's probably the word, dysfunctional, with all the quarterbacks he has had to work with in all 3 seasons. He's had 1,000+ yards. I mean, last year he went for over 100 catches, over 1,100 yards, and a career high in 7 touchdowns. And just to think that it was a down season for the Jets and maybe Garrett Wilson wasn't really involved at the end when Devontae Adams came into town, he still was a huge part of the Jets and always has been and has been loved by the fans. But again, the receiver market is weird, and it was kind of hard where you put him. He's not quite the Chase Jefferson CD level, but I definitely think when you're looking at the 3 years, he's only 25 years old. And to see what he's overcame for the first 3, he's on his way to not only be a really good receiver in the NFL, but probably the best Jets wide receiver of all time. You'd probably say that's not saying much, but it's still a great accolade to have. I mean, regardless, this is the NFL. And so I think Muji saw that. Glenn saw that. They did nothing but rave about him with the OTAs and the mandatory minicamp, saying we're going to get him the ball. He's the guy. And those statements were true. They weren't just babbling saying he wants to be a Jet, we're going to make him a Jet. No, they actually did it. They didn't pull a Joe Douglas and said Jamal Adams was a Jet for life. Because guess what? That didn't happen. So maybe this is a different style of management. You got to win games. This doesn't mean anything if you go 5-12. You have to win games still and, playing meaningful games in December. However, in order to do that, you need guys like Garrett Wilson. And the Jets gave him 4 years, $131 million, $90 million guaranteed, slots him in as the fifth highest paid wide receiver in between DK Metcalf at 4 and AJ Brown now at 6. And guess what? He's probably going to be like the 8th or 9th highest paid receiver by next year. Guys like Puka Nacua are going to get paid. Guys like Jackson Smith-Njigba is probably going to get paid. Guys like Terry McLaurin is going to get paid, whether it's from the Commanders or somewhere else. These guys and their price keeps skyrocketing. It's just a crazy market, and the Jets did what they had to do. You had to bring him back. It looks like a lot of money, but terms when you're looking at true potential, this is a top 10 talent. This may even be a top 7 talent. If you have the right quarterback play and consistent play at that position, Wilson's going to do his job. He hasn't missed games. He's been consistent, and he just loves what he does, and he's passionate. And maybe he gets some flack from that when he was yelling at Garrett Wilson a couple years ago, and he looked miserable at the end of his last season with Aaron Rodgers. But it just shows that this dude wants to win, and the fact that even on his side, he wants to commit to win with this franchise, despite what they put him through for the first 3 years. Kudos to that guy. He's a true competitor. Every Jet fan should be happy. And even around the NFL, you just hear people saying this was a smart move by Darren Muji and his new regime. This is what they had to do. Woody Johnson has the paycheck. He has the checkbook or whatever. He's buying soccer teams. Damn it, you better pay your best wide receiver and best offensive player. The Jets did just that. And then we were waiting. We hear that Sauce Gardner is going to get paid. He's on McAfee 2 weeks ago. He's telling people at the Fanatics Fest, they're close. And this was really the deal that I thought was going to get done before Garrett Wilson. But 24 hours later, basically, between the two, they signed Sauce Gardner as well. He is now the highest paid cornerback in the NFL. 4 years, $120.4 million. Congrats to Sauce. He deserves it, even though he has kind of a down year last year, but that is Sauce Gardner standards. Like, it was a down year for Sauce Gardner. It was a really good year probably for a lot of other corners. This was a guy who was a back-to-back all-pro at a cornerback position that we've never seen before. He was a 2-time Pro Bowler, a Rookie of the Year. We mentioned, Garrett Wilson too, also a Rookie of the Year. Sauce has had unbelievable accolades. Speaking of accolades, for the last 3 seasons, to start off his NFL career. No one's more deserving than Sauce Gardner. I still think he's a top 3, top 4 corner. I'll still say Surtain is the best to do it, but Sauce Gardner on a good year, those first 2 years, he was definitely flirting around 2 or 3 right behind Surtain. And I think he's going to continue to do it with this new defense getting implemented with Wilkes and Eric Glenn. And I think this is just a great opportunity for Gardner. And he's made it known that he's wanted to be a Jet for a long time. The Garrett Wilson thing was a little more confusing because, people were saying he was going to get traded. He's just pissed off about everything. And then they bring in Justin Fields. It seems like the vibe is back. And evidently it was, because he wouldn't have signed pen to paper if he didn't want to be here. And that's exactly what he did. So evidently he does want to be here. And Sauce Gardner, but a little different with Sauce Gardner, he's been known that he wants to be here. He doesn't want to be anywhere else. He wants to be with the Jets. And both of these guys really too, they were 100%. I think Sauce missed 1 day of the OTAs, but they were there for the OTAs. They were there for the mandatory mini camp. They didn't hold out like a lot of guys did. Yes, they had the 5th-year option, but they still definitely could have decided to hold out, because they're technically are in a contract year. So both of these guys, 2030, it's huge. So Sauce Gardner, hats off to him as well. Another thing that the Jets had to do, despite the down year. You had to sign him because guess what? The same thing. The salary cap goes up, and it's going to continue to go up. It's simple. Next year, he's not going to be the number 1 paid corner. No shot. So why don't you pay him now? You pay him for his upside. You pay him for his first 2 years, and you hope that he gets back on track with Aaron Glenn. And I think he absolutely will. I think the Jets their defense will absolutely improve. Their offense, who the hell knows? But I know the defense probably will bounce back, especially with the staff that they brought in there. So this is a guy, if they want to bounce back, they absolutely need. He's a solidified number 1 corner. I'd like to see him play more man-to-man on the best receiver. That's something really Salah and Jeff Albrecht restricted him to do for whatever reason. I think it's going to be a little different this season and in the years past, because they are going to line him up against the best receiver. Week 1, he better be on DK Metcalf's ass the entire game. And you pay a guy this kind of money to do that. So 4 years, 120 for Sauce, 4 years, 131 for Garrett, plus the 5th-year option. They're going to be Jets at least until 2030, and hopefully for longer than that. Hopefully these are 2 lifetime Jets. That doesn't usually happen. And, in years past, I think prior to Quinnen Williams signing in 2023, the only first round pick that they signed since 2011 to 2023 was Muhammad Wilkerson. And that was a disaster because guess what? He didn't care. He just wanted to get paid and he checked out. These three eat and sleep football. And that's the thing. You're not just signing the great player, you're signing the great person. Sauce Gardner is a great person. Garrett Wilson is a great person. And they're the same on and off the field. That's why I love about these guys. They're authentic. That's what New York needs, especially just a franchise who is just, foaming to the mouth of how much they want to win. At least the fans. Who knows about Woody Johnson? But these are moves that you have to do. Like, good teams make moves like this. Good teams keep their good players. And unfortunately, in the last decade, the Jets haven't done that. But at the same time, how many first-round picks have been good with the Jets? Say what you want with Joe Douglas. He obviously hit a home run in this 2022 draft. And, you got two of those three who you drafted in the first round. And, of course, Breece Hall in the second round. That was just a monster draft. We'll see what happens with the other two. Jermaine's a fifth-year option. They'll probably have to wait and see, especially coming back from the Achilles. Maybe next year is going to be his time going into the fifth year. Breece, unknown. I think it really just depends on his performance because the running back market is absolutely wacky. But this was a no-brainer to have both of these guys signed. And you know what I love? It was like I had a feeling that they both were going to get signed like at the same time. That would have been cool. But they essentially did 24 hours apart, probably even less. I don't know the exact time frame. And then the fact that they did it before training camp too, and it wasn't like, oh, Garrett has the contract and Sauce doesn't yet. That was a little worrisome, but good thing I had to be worried for like 20 hours because they signed Sauce right after that. So kudos to the Jets. We love the offseason. The Jets don't lose in the offseason. I know there's so much to talk about since the last time I've been on a mic, but this is really what I wanted to come on, just chat it up. And just welcome Sauce and Garrett Wilson for the next 6 years. It's really huge. These are two superstars. They're two great people, again, like I said earlier. And you have to build around guys like this. These are the two best players in your team, let's be honest. And you have Quinnen Williams, who was also signed to a long-term deal. Your three best players on your entire team are signed long-term, and that's what you got to do. And that's how you start building. The Jets have been rebuilding since 2011 in their 14 going on 15-year playoff drought. They haven't really had many guys like Garrett Wilson. I mean, at all at the wide receiver position. They've had good ones over the past, like Brandon Marshall, Lavernius Coles was really good, Santonio Holmes, Braylon Edwards, whatever, but no one quite like Garrett Wilson. His floor is extremely high at top 5, and even Sauce Gardner. I mean, yeah, they had Darrelle Revis, but other than Revis, I mean, Revis is a first ballot Hall of Famer. Sauce is a special player. It's hard to find legitimate number one corners, especially like him. Long, lanky, fast, very good in man coverage. Say what you want about his tackling. He had an off year last year. The whole Jets defense stunk last year. So I'm not really caught up on that. If you're not happy with Sauce, like the fact that people wanted Sauce, people wanted DJ Reed last year instead of Sauce to extend him. That was crazy because DJ Reed was worse than Sauce Gardner. If you actually watched the games, he was putrid anytime he was on guys like Justin Jefferson or Tyreek Hill. Like, he was a number 2 corner. He will always be. Sauce is a number 1 corner. This is a 2-time All-Pro corner. You know, I could say so many negative things about the Jets, but not about these two guys. It's a home run. It's a great day for the New York Jets and the new regime. Hopefully more good things to come. Now you got to play. Now you got to win games. You know, that's over with. That was really the question marks heading in. You have the quarterback in Justin Fields. You got to win games now. But anyway, I just wanted to make this video just about Sauce and Wilson. Like I said, I will make tons more of Jets content weekly whenever we get news, whenever I think of something to talk about. Training camp right around the corner. Week 1 right around the corner. Cannot wait. And I'm so excited to be back. Until next time, I'm Joe Scardo here on the Turn Up the Jets YouTube channel. See ya!